Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Karen and today we are going through your first singing lesson. This is a singing lesson for beginners, and making this video is really exciting because I love to see people investing their time and energy into their passions. As a beginner, the best thing that you can do for your voice is to sing. Your voice is a muscle, and so the more you use it, the stronger it's going to get. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you an effective way to practice your singing and the common structure of a singing lesson. The very first warm-up we are going to do is a lip trill. If you have watched a lot of singers warm up, then you've probably seen this one before. And if you haven't, then this one might seem a little bit silly, but it is super effective. A lip trill looks like this. And it's a combination of like trilling your lips and humming at the same time. You want to take two fingers and just pinch your cheeks and use that to just pull your cheeks forward a little bit. Our intention here is to have no tension in your face. We're gonna use a super simple scale for this. We're gonna go do, re, mi, re, do, back down. It'll sound like this. So let's start with our first lip trill. So some things to check for. If your lips just randomly stop trilling, then you probably don't have enough air support to keep them going. So take a deeper breath and make sure that you're exhaling that air as you sing. Secondly, I want you to make sure that you are not clenching your teeth and that your tongue is resting along the bottom of your mouth. So we're really relaxed here. Nice. So if you are struggling with a lip trill, don't worry. You can also do a hum to start your warm-up session, but I do encourage you to practice lip trilling. Try to let go of some of that tension in your face and increase your airflow so that you can get a solid lip trill going, because it is one of the first warm-ups I teach and it is also one of my favorites to this day. All right, next let's jump into a 5-note scale. This is a major scale, so this is what it will sound like. And we're going to do this using vowels. So let's start with an ah vowel. But as you sing this, I want you to bend your vowel. So the first note is an ah, but the last note, the highest note in the scale, is actually more of an ah. So it's going to sound like this. Keep going until it gets too high and then just drop out. Beautiful. Okay, so don't worry if you're not able to come with me through all of those notes. I am trying to accommodate singers with different ranges here, so jump in when it's no longer too low and drop out when it gets to be too high. The next exercise we are going to do is on the ga sound. I love using ga because it really encourages us to bring our vocal folds together and have a little bit more engagement and closure at the vocal fold level, which is going to give you a stronger tone. If you're looking at a major scale, this is actually the first note, the third note, and the fifth note. So ah, ah. Okay, so let's try that. We're gonna do that on ga. Ga, 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 going to do is called a siren, and it is called that because it should sound like a siren, okay? A lot of your vocal warm-ups and exercises are not supposed to sound pretty. They're supposed to be effective at releasing tension, shaking free mucus and phlegm, and opening up some of the resonance chambers that we have in our body, like our sinuses. And so we want to really like channel your inner car alarm here. I'm going to start here, and this is the same 5-note scale, but we're just going to be scooping all the way from note 1 to note 5. So it will sound like this. Ooh. And it's our intention to try to hit all those notes in between. So you're not just going ooh, you're ooh, really scooping, okay? More. So if there are certain spots in your voice that were like crackly or maybe didn't feel supported enough, then I would go back and I would pedal on top of those spots. Like I might do the same siren 3 or 4 times in a row before moving on to the next one if we're noticing like, you know, some bumpiness in certain parts of your range. And last in our warm-ups, but certainly not least, is a tongue stretch. Your tongue is a huge muscle. It goes all the way down and wraps around your voice box, and it is so important that we stretch it as singers. If you don't, that tense tongue is going to block your resonance chambers, it's going to cut off your airflow, and it's really going to strangle your tone, your range, and your ability to have agility in your voice, which describes like being able to do riffs and runs and stuff. So you do not want tongue tension. If you take nothing else from this video, please start stretching your tongue. I'm going to show you, one of the tongue stretches you can do. You're going to need a paper towel or a clean cloth, and we're just going to literally grab our tongue by the tip, pull it out, and lay it along our chin, and then sing through those same 5-note scales on kind of a sound. And I really want you to pay attention if your tongue is trying to pull back out of your hand. And if it is, then you probably have tongue tension, and you should do this stretch more often. And so let's try it. Now your voice is going to feel so much more free after doing that tongue stretch. Let's jump into a little bit about singers breathing and then go through a song. I do have a full video on how to breathe properly as a singer, but in this video I want to do a quick review and also talk about some of the misconceptions about breathing to make sure that you aren't doing anything that might actually hinder your singing voice. So you may have heard that as singers we want to be taking diaphragmatic breaths or big belly breaths, and all this means is when you breathe you want to be keeping your shoulders down and then pushing your belly out as you breathe in. What this does is it fills the lower part of your lungs first. Your diaphragm muscle is actually like a bowl that sits underneath your lungs. And every single time that muscle contracts downward, it acts as a suction to pull our air inward. Abdominal muscles are pushing our belly out, pushing our organs out toward the skin so that the diaphragm muscle has more room to flex downward and we can fill those lungs down low. This is really important because it allows us to have so much more control of our exhale. When we breathe into our shallow part of our lungs, not only do we not get very much air, but we also don't have very much control of the amount of pressure that we're putting on our vocal folds from below as we exhale. One thing that I see all the time is singers who get hyperfixated on taking these absolutely massive deep breaths, and it actually makes it so they have way too much air, and then they can't pull their vocal folds closed over this intense air pressure. You don't need to be taking huge, massive breaths in order to breathe as a singer. You just want to make sure that your breaths are nice and low. So keeping your shoulders down, pushing your tummy out when you breathe in. And you may find at first that you're just like physically pushing your tummy out as you breathe in, and that is totally fine. As your diaphragm gets stronger, you will feel this become more of a subconscious thing. My favorite exercise for singers who are learning how to breathe is called box breathing. And so we are going to inhale for a certain count, hold for a certain count, exhale for a certain count, and hold again. To start off, let's make that count 5, and we'll do it together. So you're going to exhale everything. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if that was super easy for you, maybe you want to do 10 or 8 or whatever number is doable but provides a bit of a challenge for you. Okay, I think we're ready to jump into a song. In a basic vocal lesson, at this point, you would pull out a song that you know how to sing and you would sing it for your teacher, and then they would give you feedback based on what they're hearing. However, today, we're just gonna sing through a basic song like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and I'm gonna tell you a couple of the things that I tend to notice with beginner singers. We're gonna sing it in 2 different keys to not only cover your chest voice and your head voice, but also to accommodate different singers' ranges. First thing I want you to focus on in this run through of Twinkle Twinkle is relaxation. I want everything nice and loose. Maybe you're walking back and forth, pacing while you do this. Maybe you're swaying your body, but we're not pushing for volume. We're just opening our mouth and allowing our singing to come out. Okay, so relaxation is key here. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Excellent. Okay, let's try that in a higher key. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Nice. Keeping it nice and relaxed, really getting rid of tension here. So now that we've mastered that really relaxed voice, let's do it again, but this time I want you to focus on having consistent airflow. And so we want to make sure that we're exhaling the same amount the entire time we're singing. So we don't have this kind of twinkle, like that's exaggerated, but people tend to have kind of patchy airflow. And so this time, let's try to keep it really consistent. You can even put your hand in front of your mouth and kind of assess the amount of airflow you feel coming out. You can also do this on a lip trill. And if at any point your lips are trilling faster than other points, or if they just stop trilling altogether, then you probably have inconsistent airflow, and we need to regulate that from our diaphragm. Here's our first key. Twink, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Let's do it again in our higher key. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Okay, so remember, you can take these techniques, you can take these skills and apply them to any song. We're gonna do it one more time, and I'm gonna give you one more technique to focus on. This time we are gonna be talking about animating your face. And so moving your cheekbones, scrunching your nose, having kind of this like selfie face, showing your top teeth, all these things are going to help raise your soft palate, which is the soft upper part of your mouth at the back. You can feel it squishy. And when we raise that up, we get a much better resonance and brightness to our voice. And along with animating those cheekbones and showing our teeth, we're also going to focus on having a little bit more movement in our jaw. So opening your mouth more, especially on big vowels like R. So we have more space in our mouth to resonate. So again, we're going to start with that low key. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Okay, so did you notice a big difference in your tone getting brighter? Let's try it in our high key. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So there you have it. We are finished your very first vocal lesson. And the first handful of vocal lessons are all about getting to know your voice, finding where home base is in your voice, and really getting to know what that feels like. In the first few lessons, we also really try to identify the strengths in your voice and identify a couple goals that we can then structure your practice routine around. I'm Karen Claypool from KClay Music. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and visit my channel to become a better singer.